What's up, guys? I hope y'all are having a great day today, just full of so much positivity and happiness, dude, because today we are going to be talking about the latest game revealed at the Game Awards last night, and that, of course, is Intergalactic, the heretic project from none other than the man, the myth, the legend himself, Neil Cuckman.
This wind is like next level.
Yeah, I'm like trying to take a photo.
You have to look.
Yeah.
Please clap.
And as one of the biggest Neil Cuckman fans on all of YouTube, you know, I am just so excited to see this absolute masterpiece that Naughty Dog is going to be putting out, following their latest masterpiece, which was, of course, none other than The Last of Us Part 2.
You're going down! That's the best you got! This is how I work! Don't you fuck with me! Die, you little shit! I like you, Jack, so I'm giving you another shot. Slippery little bastard! Die! Die! Die, you piece of shit!
And well, judging from the reception to the trailer, which they preemptively turned comments off on, by the way, I don't really think it went as planned, to say the very least, and this game is getting absolutely butchered online by most people with a testosterone level higher than that of a 90-year-old man on death's door. So this game is not exactly getting a warm welcome no matter where you look on the internet, and honestly, it couldn't happen to a better person, because Neil Cuckman is one of the biggest hacks in the entire video game industry. He has literally piggybacked on everyone else who has come before him and tries to act like it was him alone that was the creative genius behind everything he's ever touched. I mean, just look at Uncharted 4 compared to Uncharted 3. Complete tonal shift, massive retcons, and arguably one of the worst in the franchise. Then you have The Last of Us, where he only worked partially on The Last of Us, but was under the head of Naughty Dog at the time's supervision, so he was kept in check. It was only until after Neil assumed command of the studio, he made the Left Behind DLC, which is when Naughty Dog made its massive leftward shift, and he decided as his first creative decision to make LGBT kids a thing in the Last of Us universe. So we have his latest masterpiece, which he made all by himself, which is The Last of Us 2, which is an absolute fucking disaster of a video game. It failed to even come close to the notoriety and overall success of the original Last of Us game, and purely piggyback off the success of the first game and love that people had for the original Last of Us. So Neil Cuckman is a massive hack. Everything he touches turns to absolute shit, and now we get to witness a game that has no connection to anyone else, that has no connection to an existing franchise. I mean, other than the fact that apparently this is some reference to a comic book series within the Last of Us universe, but I think it's far enough removed that it doesn't count. But it has no connection to any of the successful products that people have made at Naughty Dog before him, even though he logo flashes all the previous games that people actually fucking liked from Naughty Dog at the beginning of the trailer.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer every night.
And well, this time around, this is 100% Neil's baby, and people are already not liking it, man, and for good fucking reason, because anyone who tells you, like, oh, you're just overreacting, dude, don't read too much into it, oh, they didn't even show the game yet, man, how do you even know? Bro, it's Neil Druckmann. The main character looks the way it fucking does, and we know what this is going to look like, dude. I mean, unless you're literally a 3 fucking IQ Cro-Mag who's dragging their fucking knuckles on the ground and needs a drip tray to catch the fucking drool that's constantly flowing down their chin, I don't know what to tell you, man. We have been here way too many times before, and we know for a fact Mr. Video Games Shouldn't Be Fun, Neil Cuckman, is going to deliver an absolute woke slop fest that is going to rival anything we've seen in the past few years, including Dragon Age Transguard. So this game is going to be a complete political fucking slop fest, and anybody arguing otherwise is either in denial or literally fucking retarded. It's just really sad because after 4 years, basically, of Naughty Dog releasing nothing but remaster after remaster after remaster after remaster of their shitty Last of Us games over and over and over again, making them worse with every single iteration, we finally have a new IP from Naughty Dog, and it's this, bro. I mean, it's just visually repulsing. I don't really care what you have to say about the main character. You could think it's fine to have a butch space lesbian who's racially and gender ambiguous with a buzz cut, you know, whatever. You can like that. I don't. I know the motivation behind it, and honestly, bro, it's just really sad to see this once great studio that delivered us the entire Uncharted trilogy in one console generation move to this all-time low of releasing a once-in-a-generation game where it's absolute fucking dog shit after absolute dog shit. Think about it. The entire PlayStation 4 generation, Naughty Dog only released Uncharted 4 and The Last of Us Part 2, both of which were far worse than their previous entries in the series. And now we have a new IP from Naughty Dog 4 years, probably 6 years into the PS5 generation when it finally releases, that is arguably just one of the most visually unappealing games I think I have ever seen. It's like Sony saw the failure of Concord and said, yeah, we need to ramp this shit up to 11, and then hired Neil Cuckman to make the most visually unappealing character possible that 100% nobody who has any sort of testosterone flowing through their fucking veins will want to play as at all. I don't really get what this obsession with this Guardians of the Goy Slop style game is over at Sony. I mean, first you had Concord that was blatantly a Guardians of the Galaxy ripoff, and now you have this new game, Intergalactic, from Naughty Dog that literally looks like, wait for it, Guardians of the Goy Slop, dude. You know, retro technology and space, dude, and familiar brands dropped in for marketing purposes. I mean, I guess Sony really is hurting with these $300 million movie games nowadays, to where they literally are having to shove in product placements at every opportunity. I mean, first, you had that awful Adidas collab with Spider-Man 2.
Look at the top of his head.
And now you have Porsche and Adidas advertising in this dog shit Intergalactic trailer. So it's very interesting, man. Maybe money's a little tight over in the PlayStation division after all these fucking massive movie games are coming out and not really performing as expected, so they have to bundle the game with every console sold to artificially inflate the sales numbers so they don't get penalized by companies like Disney, who they're licensing, you know, things like Spider-Man from. So I don't know, man. This entire model of the Sony movie game formula cannot end as soon enough. So if this brings about its demise just a little bit faster, I am all for it, bro, because in all honesty, we knew this was going to happen. We knew whatever game Naughty Dog put out was going to be absolute fucking slop, bro. There is no way in the current state of that studio with Neil Druckmann at the fucking helm that it was going to be anything other than complete and total dog shit. The dude is a literal political hack. He hates himself because he is a white man, air quotes, but you get the point. I mean, it's just, this guy is one of the worst things to ever happen to the video game industry, and the day his ass eventually gets shit canned, the better off we will all be for it, man. I have never seen such an unwarranted glazing of a game developer since Kojima when it comes to fucking Druckmann, dude. Those two are the most overrated game devs in the entire fucking industry, hands down, and Neil really hasn't done anything, bro. He has literally just piggybacked off of everyone else's talent and success and creativity, and the first time he has an opportunity to make his own IP, we're left with this shit, bro. But the media will shill for him. They'll prop him up as like this gaming messiah who's saving the video game industry because he promotes the current fucking thing, includes all the important messages that leftists care about, and is more than happy to take a financial loss to push propaganda onto the minds of children who are unfortunate enough to get gifted this game for Christmas in whatever year it decides to come out. You know, now that I think about it, I think it is great that a game like Astrobot won Game of the Year last night, because maybe, just maybe, Sony will get it through their thick fucking skull that that's the type of game that people actually want from them. Not this fucking Neil Cuckman movie game formulaic slop where it's another over-the-shoulder, emotional, third-person storytelling action-adventure game that's 90% fucking dialogue and cutscenes when it comes to meaningful content, and the gameplay is literally just filler to pad out time between the different cutscenes and dialogue sequences within the game. So maybe with a game like Astrobot winning Game of the Year that is a pure gameplay experience, an old-school platformer that appeals to all age groups, all different demographics, really doesn't have any restrictions on who could actually enjoy it, you know, maybe, just maybe, games like that will become the norm again at Sony, because I guarantee you that 65-person dev team over at Team Asobi that made Astrobot in a few years is probably a hell of a lot fucking cheaper to maintain and keep up with than Neil Cuckman and his Booty Goon squad over at Naughty Dog that, you know, are just pumping out Naughty Dog shit on a constant basis, where it's just remaster after remaster after remake after re-release after PC port with no creativity whatsoever. And now, what do we get after all these years of waiting? Whatever the fuck this is, man. So I guarantee you Sony's probably scratching their head, and it's probably one of the reasons why Jim Ryan's gone. Like, wait, why did we close down Japan Studios and they just literally, with the remnants of their studio, like 60 people who were left over from, you know, Japan Studios getting completely gutted, they just won Game of the Year. What the fuck do we have to show for it from Neil Cuckman? Okay, we can re-release the same game over and over and over again that he didn't really make successful in the first place, and now I think we are shaping up for this game to be a colossal failure. Now, I'm not saying this game is going to lose money or flop, so to speak, but the problem is when you have a game that costs $300 million to make, it takes a decade of game development time in total, and you have to pay, you know, over 1,000 employees to work on this thing. Eventually, you're not happy with just breaking even or making a little bit of money. This thing has to make a ton of money, and when it inevitably does not meet expectations, which Sony, I'm sure, will never admit, you know, they're going to be really reassessing, wait, what the fuck are we doing here? Which is what I think they're already kind of doing. It seems like the new Japanese leadership is a lot more interested in actually making video games again, especially with the third-party deals that they've been signing lately. So I don't know, man. It's very, very interesting to see, and honestly, I don't think this is unexpected in the fucking slightest. I think anybody who was imagining what the next game from the genius mind of Neil Cuckman would be, you'd probably land at something around this. Maybe not the sci-fi setting, but definitely this obviously fucking woke that is going to be used to push the current day propaganda that we know all too well from Western AAA video game development. But let me know your thoughts on this wonderful game reveal from Naughty Dog in the comments section below. Are you officially on the Intergalactic hype train? Because I know for sure I definitely am, because, you know, I just can't wait to experience this 100% generational banger that Neil's about to pump out. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like on it. I would greatly appreciate it. And as always, I do want to thank you all so much for taking the time out of your day to check out this video, and for all the recent support as well. You guys are the fucking best. You know, here's to many more videos, I'm sure, covering this absolute fucking dumpster fire. I milked The Last of Us Part 2 to death, and you can bet your sweet ass that I'm gonna do the same thing with this absolute dumpster fire. So, you know, here's to many more videos to come. But in the meantime, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I will catch you guys next time.